Welcome home. Daddy's here. Welcome to the Front Yard Fantasy. That's not the name of the show. It's the Fantasy Football Game Show, brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy and Better Sports Network. I'm joined today by my good buddy Joey and our bestest friend in the entire world, Bob Harris.
I usually say that because I make fun of you at coffee shops. Caw-caw!
Caw-caw, there it is.
Yeah, we're just going around basically annoying Starbucks baristas as a living. I love it.
It's fair game, fair game. By the way, I was going to petition to have the game changed as we started the show. Then I realized I suck at all the other games equally to what I suck at Jeopardy. So let's roll.
So might as well just play it anyway. All things are even. How you doing today, Joey?
I'm good. I've got a little little cough going on because I have two children that like to bring home various illnesses from their schools. Outside of that, I'm doing tremendous. I went ran very rare. I went 6-0 in my Yahoo leagues this week. And those are where all my home leagues are. That's a good feeling when you win all 6 of your leagues.
Yeah, wreck all your casual friends.
Poop the bed and sleeper though. Big time pooping the bed over there.
You and me both. You and me both.
I'm
going to say though, I'm just going to say though, sleeper is like the place to go to check your scores and do stuff. I mean, it's honestly, I love my call. I love my fantasy league and all that stuff, but it's like multi-screens. You got to dive in pretty deep, and all of a sudden on sleeper, I'm just going, oh, I see everything in my hand.
Yeah, 8 out of 8. Let's go.
It wasn't good this week, though. It wasn't good.
0 out of 8.
Including my fishbowl. Not great. Not a great week for Bob Harris.
Did you win in fishbowl, Joey?
I won my matchup with like 212 points, but then I didn't hit the median. So I got a loss, too. I was not very happy. It's a high median in my league.
Well, we brought Bob on to play some Fantasy Football Jeopardy today. We'll be facing off Joe. He's got a great game hosted for us. But before we get into that, we got some people in the chat. We got Grim Fan in here said, come on, sandwiches. Joey?
1 week, I'm going to remember it. 1 week.
1 week.
1 week, I'm going to remember it.
Not this week, though. We got Herms in here said, good afternoon, FYF fam. Glad to see y'all's cute faces again. Ready for a good show. Happy to see your cute face. It's very tiny, but it's cute down there. I can tell. And we got Jay in here said, eagle scream. Caw!
Caw!
I don't think that was a scream. No, I don't think any of those are screams.
Eagles got hit by cars. I think that's what we were doing.
We got Dave in the chat that FYF time, even better with Bob. Facts. That applies.
That should be the name of the show.
Even better with Bob. Hey, that's a good name for a show.
Yeah.
And we got Scammers in here said, happy Tuesday, FYF fan, Mr. Bob Harris. We got Albert in here said, hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we got Grim Fan in here starting us off with a question before we get into our game. Start 2, full PPR, Cortland Sutton, Chris Olave, Christian Kirk, Christian Watson, or Puka Nacua. Which 2 are you starting, Bob?
Boy, it was pretty bad. I don't want to freak out. Chris Olave is usually way better. You have to wonder about Carr's shoulder. Puka for sure. Even assuming that there's going to be some little bit of Cooper Kupp, I don't think it'd be the full Cooper Kupp. It's not a great matchup against the Eagles. They scream, I'm told.
It's very distracting while you're trying to play football, apparently.
Denver going against the Jets. Kirk going against Buffalo. Watson against the Raiders.
Sutton against, I already said Jets. Whoops.
I'm probably playing Puka and Chris Olave. I'm not going to outsmart myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Joey, are you picking any other 2 other than those 2?
Man, I like Christian Kirk. I know Calvin Ridley's going to get involved there in Jacksonville soon, but I want pieces in that Buffalo-Jacksonville game this week. So Kirk's the name that kind of popped out to me. Oh, man, that's hard. I want to play Puka. I like Christian Watson, too. He scored a touchdown last week.
It's a nice matchup for him as well.
Yeah. I would put Kirk and Puka, but I don't disagree with you guys, Puka.
Man.
Yeah, it was 1 catch for 4 yards for Olave. It was not good. And Derek Carr is probably a big reason for that. I'm told he has a hurt shoulder. That makes it hard to throw the football, but they're still going to let him throw the football. It's just not very far.
Well, Jameis he'll get you touchdowns and he'll get you
light it
interceptions
up.
too, but
right.
No.
What this probably says more about Jameis Winston than it does about anything else, right? Like we would rather have a armless Derek Carr running the show than Jameis Winston.
Man, you said Kirk and Puka. All I kept thinking is like I would buy so many things if that was like a hair care brand or something. It's like a random, like a nice brand. Kirk and Puka. Is that a Kirk and Puka? Yeah, it is. Well, we got
Kirk and-
Chad said, I miss JL, I miss Bob, and I miss Joey.
Ooh, not bad.
All three. It all three. Not miss Simon.
No.
Miss Simon.
I miss Simon.
You miss Simon. That makes one of us.
I know. I miss.
The highways in Texas don't miss Simon.
No,
They've got
They
him
do
right
not.
now.
Yeah, they got him good. All right. Well, we brought Bob on today to play some Fantasy Football Jeopardy, as I said before. But before we do, if you aren't already, make sure you're following Bob at Football Die Hard right there under his beautiful face. He's an excellent follow. And don't take anything what happens now where I just destroy Bob in Jeopardy. Do not hold that against him, whatever you do. All right, Joey's got the game. He's hosting the game for us today, and I will be reading the rules for you. If this is your first time joining us for Fantasy Football Jeopardy, it works very similar to the TV show, but a little bit different. Instead of buzzing in, the contestants are going to answer Fantasy Football Jeopardy questions. On their turn, they get to select their category and value amount, and if they get it right, they'll get the points, plus they'll get to choose their opponent's next category for them. They will still get to, the opponent will still get to pick the point value, but you'll get to choose the category, which is a nice little twist. Then after we run out of time or run out of questions, we will move into the Final Jeopardy category, which works pretty much exactly the same as the TV Final Jeopardy category. And this is the only time that you can lose money. So you won't lose money in the normal game. You don't have to say what is. You don't have to form it in a question. But if you get it wrong, the Final Jeopardy, you will lose that money. So wager carefully. Contestant with the most money by the end of the game will win, just like in Jeopardy.
Joey. Caught me off guard with rules. I mean, I didn't know, rules and a knife fight, and then I realized this isn't a knife fight. We're playing Jeopardy. Damn it.
Jeopardy. And
I brought the wrong weapon.
Yeah. Put the knife away, Bob.
Damn it.
Let me introduce the categories, guys. So we have about last night. These are questions about the NFL game that happened last night. We have cinematic player names because cinematic team names will never so well. What this will be is a description of a movie, and the title of the movie is an NFL player's name. Okay, grab bag can be anything at all. Absolutely anything. Wherever my mind wandered that hour that I was putting this together. Follow the leader. I'm going to give you a leader and a category, a statistical category, and you tell me who's following that leader, and you'll have options, so you don't have to just pull it out of nowhere. And then real-time lines. These are real-time sports betting lines from tonight. You basically need to tell me if it's over under. So if I say Justin Fields, 50 rushing yards, you tell me over or under. Pretty simple. Everybody understand?
Yep.
I think I understand, sir.
Excellent. And I messaged JL to ask if he would like to go first today, and he said no. I love our guest so much, Bob, that I'm going to let him go first today. So, Bob,
I put the knife away.
First category.
I reach into Bob's pocket and grab the knife.
Cinematic player names for 500.
Oh, wow. Just right out the gate. Just Bob does not want to like me today. A friendly Midwestern commercial pilot fights his addiction to never land his planes. This is 100% a $500 question.
I'd like cinematic player names for 100.
Do we give up, Bob? Do you have a
guess?
No,
I don't. No, give me a second.
Okay. So a friendly Midwestern commercial pilot fights his addiction to never land his planes.
Never land his planes.
Checking out the chat has not gotten. Usually the chat's pretty savvy on these. Last week they nailed them all.
Oh, should get out of the chat.
Is that a rule for Jeopardy? I've always wondered.
If the contestant takes this long.
I can't. I got nothing.
Right. Answer is Sky Moore, because he wants to be in the Sky More. He's never won. Okay, that's a bad one. That's the worst one.
It's a movie?
Yeah. These are movie descriptions that I've made up. These movies do not exist. unless we have any film producers that are out there watching the show
So
today.
Joey is like throwing out his ideas and trying to. This is like a double dip situation.
It is. I'm really just trying to pitch the studios right now. The writer's strike is over.
Total pitches.
They've settled. I'm just trying to get a little bit more work. We just hear peanuts at FYF. So, but Bob, you missed that one. So Jail, we're going to go to your next category. Jail, where would you like to go?
Not sure that was Bob's fault.
I thought I explained it.
Let's see. I definitely don't want cinematic player names. Let's go with let's go grab bag 500.
All right. What is the name of the fear of farts? Orillophobia?
Not a real thing.
Epteroclecophobia? Ithlophalophobia? And Rhea-Jepsen acillin.
Rhea-Jepsen.
I feel like I know this.
All right.
And for the chat, have some fun Googling some of these.
Proctophobia. Farts. Which of these is the Latin root for the word fart? I'm going to go with Alluriophobia.
Sorry, it's
Shoot.
EPR.
I knew it.
I knew it was a proctophobia.
That was a hard one. I almost said a fart one.
That was a fart one.
That too.
That was a fart one. Yeah.
What?
All right, Bob.
How does the chat know that? Y'all lying.
I told the chat to Google them, and when the chat Googles some of those names, I might get canceled.
Oh no.
There's some doozies in there.
See, Ladarius has some integrity. He didn't cheat.
See Grim calling from my head.
I'll take about last night for 100.
All right.
I need to get my feet.
Who won the game last night between the Seahawks and Giants?
That'll be the Seahawks, sir.
That is correct, Seahawks.
That's a Seahawks scream. It's different than an Eagle scream.
Yeah. What's the difference between a Seahawk and an Eagle scream?
I believe Seahawks are kind of pansier and more annoying.
And they shoot seawater out of their throat.
Yeah, they're like begging where Eagles are like attacking. Seahawks are coming to steal stuff from you. Eagles are coming to kill you.
I'm taking that versus can I take that? I like that.
Interesting. All right, well, Bob, you got that correct, so you get to pick Jail's next category.
Cinematic player names.
Shoot. 100.
Okay. The NBA's greatest player of all time meets the woman of his dreams.
Michael Jordan.
Okay, so it's a movie title, so it's an NFL player's name, cinematic names.
It's a movie, so this movie exists.
I know.
The movie.
I know what it is.
I'll explain the category again. These are movie descriptions I made up. The answer,
I know what it is.
The title of these movies would be a player's name.
A player's name. I don't know. All I can think of is Michael Jordan now.
Half of that.
You've got half of it, JL. I don't want to telegraph this one for you.
Are we just gonna wait until I think about it?
I think we should give JL the $100 for getting half of it.
I think we should give him
Jordan Love.
Wow.
Meets one of his dreams, Jordan Love. It's a movie. If they're out there. All right, we'll give you $100, JL. All right, you got that correct. You get to send Bob to his next category.
Give me $100. I didn't get it right.
Well, I feel like you did.
Or you just giving points out?
Because I'm running the game, so I get to give points out.
All right. So I get to choose Bob's category for not getting. Okay.
Now that rule's been in effect for a very long time, JL. So you got this correct. Yeah. Send Bob to his next category.
All right. Let's send Bob to cinematic player categories.
Thank you very little.
You're welcome. Very
200, please.
Well.
200. A young sheep learns to sing their ABCs, shocking the entire barnyard.
CD Lamb.
That is correct, Bob. It's CD Lamb. That's an excellent guess at that. How are you guys?
CD Lamb.
There you go. How are we feeling about CD Lamb this year, Bob, with Dallas? I mean, it's been good. It seems like the defense is getting all the points there in Dallas. Really.
Defense, that's been the issue, right? It's been the red zone struggles have been ongoing. They've getting plenty of opportunities. I think that thing they call the positive regression is going to happen here at some point. People, I mean, like even with Pollard, he's getting tons of red zone opportunities, not a ton of red zone scoring. So I think that will eventually come around, unless the defense keeps scoring, and then we're all going to be really ticked off. But I think it'll come around. I think it'll be just fine and probably end up returning the value you drafted him late first round value.
JL, are you feeling about the same as Bob?
I'm right in line with Bob. I think that type of talent just doesn't go away.
Tim in here telling us that Jordan is not the GOAT, but we don't want to start that debate here on the show.
I'm not familiar with basketball, but I'm told that somebody else is better than him.
Juan Dixon?
Yes.
No, it's Kawhi Leonard. Is it?
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Follow the basketball closely.
And then someone needs to tell me that Christopher Nolan's not watching the show.
Right.
We had a lot of CD Lambs in there. Jay said Peppa Pig. Let's get to the next question. Bob, you got that correct?
I will take about last night for 200. That seems to be my lane.
You get to send JL to his next category.
I get to say JL. Okay. Well, then cinematic player name.
Son of a Bob. All right, I'll take 300.
Okay. The boys of South Park unionized to protest the reoccurring deaths of their beloved friend.
Kenny Pickett.
Very good, JL. It's Kenny Pickett. They're having a Kenny Pickett. Oh, God. This is great. Now we love the game, don't we? All right.
Sure, I got
Good job. $300 there. So Kenny Pickett might be missing this week with an injury, and it looks like Mason Rudolph is starting. How low down your quarterback rankings would you put Mason Rudolph, JL?
There isn't a spot.
Yeah.
There's no spot. It's too low.
I recently said I would rank him as my 33rd quarterback, and only 28 are actually starting this week. That's about how I feel.
I would still rank him behind Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, me too.
Really? Okay.
I'm not taking
just in case Dan Marino comes back. I'll throw him above.
All right, JL, you knocked that one out of the park. I'm really proud of you. Get to send Bob to his next category.
All right, let's send Bob to cinematic player names.
400, please.
All right. A mall security officer is moved outside when the president of the United States holds a fundraiser on the mall's veranda. I'll read it again. A mall security officer is moved outside when the president of the United States holds a fundraiser on the mall's veranda.
I'm baffled.
No, if Rudolph starts, I'm never watching football again. This is
us.
Carolina Panthers second-year wide receiver. Oh, get up there.
Oh,
Terrace Marshall.
Look at you,
because he's on the terrace and he's a marshal.
Look at you go. Very clever. Like not good fodder for questions, but like
no,
super
it's
clever.
not.
I mean,
I've learned
a great display of your intellectual agility,
It's
sir.
just Joey showing off how many hours he thought about these puzzles.
Originally, Simon was supposed to be here, and he messaged me directly the last time I did this category. And he's like, "Those were so much fun, Joey."
Of course he did. That's the least surprising information I've ever learned. That Simon loves this category.
Simon's not here and he doesn't get to play. So
I feel like getting one of them was a big win for me.
I am proud of you. All right, JL, you get to pick your own category and value.
Big day. Let's go with grab bag for 300.
All right. What TV show has been on the air the longest? Saturday Night Live, Sesame Street, or The Simpsons?
All of them have been on the air longer than I've been alive, I think.
Not me.
I don't think The Simpsons.
I can remember the debuts of all of them.
You definitely have been on the air since I've been alive. Let's go with Saturday Night Live.
Nope.
Correct answer, Sesame Street.
Can you tell me how to get... Look, I've been using a Sesame Street analogy this week to talk about fantasy football. Because on Sesame Street, they use a theory, and I'm using it for the Arizona Cardinals wide receiver, Michael Wilson. One of these things is not like the other, right? And that's why Michael Wilson has a path to success in Arizona. The rest of them are all tiny little players, and he's like an actual physical presence, and it's going to earn him some time. Sesame Street.
I love the
Never
idea.
wrong.
Bob's just sitting in front of his TV watching Sesame Street. He's like, wait a minute. Michael Wilson.
We talked about Mike Wilson a little bit yesterday. Like that, we all kind of do like him. He's moved up to third on the team in targets in Arizona. Where do you think this season, Bob? Where do you think he could finish? Like, is he a wide receiver 3? Is he just a flex?
He's a guy that if you drafted in dynasty leagues, you're glad you drafted him. You have hope for the future, and you'll hold on to him for the next 10 years, whether he does anything or not. I'm talking for myself.
Michael Gallup.
All right.
No, I think he does have some. I mean, he is the different piece there, right? And I think if this offense has been this team has been surprisingly good. Honestly, when I saw that Gannon video out there, the speech, I just all I could think of was Mike Tomlin thinking, we want volunteers, not hostages. That looked like a room full of hostages just sitting there listening to him, spout his thing. And I thought, this is never going to work. It's worked really well. And Gannon is he and Drew Petzing have put together some pretty creative stuff to keep them afloat in games they shouldn't have been afloat in.
You think that's the difference, Bob, for the expectations versus the outcome so far this season is just their creativity and play calling? So
far it has been. I mean, you see Rondale Moore running out of the backfield. Look, he's not a receiver. I'm sorry, people. Andy Isabella too is never going to happen, right? So, it didn't work the first time. It's not going to work this time, but you run him out of the backfield and just let him use his playmaking ability. It might give you a little something. And I think they're doing things like that are interesting. And plus they've got old guys who just kick ass.
Zach
I like
Ertz.
those guys. Yeah, man.
I just kept thinking with all the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift conversation, I kept thinking back. I kept having flashbacks while watching the Cardinals game to Zach Ertz. And isn't his wife a professional soccer player?
She is. Mm-hmm. She is.
Yeah, and I remember there's years ago, that was the news cycle. Right. That was the main news cycle.
So let's get the Taylor Swift thing out of the way here. Where do we stand on all this?
I'm not a hater by any means. I think you should be able to talk about whatever you want. That them being together is interesting. I get that. I'm a little annoyed at the frequency of just having to hear the same thing over and over again.
They're going to overplay it like they always do. Everything's going to get overplayed, and that's where this is going.
The overplayed part is the annoying part to me. Not the content itself. It's that the NFL they will not let it go.
Exactly.
I'm pro on it because I think it's bringing new eyes to the sport, and hopefully those eyes stay.
Agreed.
That's great. However, I don't think the relationship's real, and I'll tell you why. Sunday night when the game was on, every commercial break there was either a Taylor Swift commercial, or a Travis Kelce commercial, or both, both.
A lot of Travis Kelce,
and I just
the same thing.
It just seems like the biggest marketing ploy. The writer strike is done, but it's not done. So you had a bunch of actors up in the press box. It's all, I hope that if they're together, they are living their life, and that's really happy for them. I think it's all marketing.
Yeah, could be.
It's like our relationship, Joey.
No, Bob, that's all real. I'm sorry.
Thank God.
Tim in the chat was correct with Sesame Street. Dustin, Sesame Street. And then Scampers, yes, I did give away one of the answers was not correct. Scott saying 2 of those were on before he was alive.
No way.
Yeah.
God, am I that much older than Scott Fish?
Scott, those companies know Swift and Kelce fans are watching and paid for those spots. Well, that could be a true, Scott, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just not happy. I think I'm happy. I'm just kidding. All right. Who got that right? Was it JL? Was it?
I don't even remember the question.
Yeah. Oh, no, you got that wrong. So, Bob, you get to choose your category and your next question.
About last night for 200.
All right. Which quarterback in this game actually threw for a touchdown? Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, or Drew Lock, who did play last night?
Geno Smith.
That is correct. Geno Smith. Good job, Bob.
Thank you very much. I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah.
Drew Lock almost did.
He almost did.
Way to go, Noah Fant.
I know. Stepped out of bounds.
Daniel Jones also did, except he did not see the Darren Waller that was wide open and behind the person who was intercepting the footballs.
Somebody brought up. Go ahead, Jay. Mine was really just about funny stuff. So yours is more important.
I like funny stuff.
Somebody brought up that Daniel Jones looks like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber, and I've not been able to unsee it all day. There's a part where he was yelling at one of the players, and he looks just like Lloyd Christmas. Or was it Harry Dunn? No, it's Lloyd Christmas.
What do you guys? What did you take on the Daniel Jones Giants fall apart here? Is this a Daniel Jones never had it type of thing, or is it they don't know what they're doing beginning of the season? They'll get it together.
It's that, but also until then, it's a lot of drama because they just paid him and he costs a lot of money. And I mean, there's no one blocking for him. There's no one running the football for him besides him. Also, Darren Waller.
He's open.
He's there. He's open. And even when he's not open, he's open. Treat him the way Jimmy Garoppolo treats Devontae Adams. Jimmy Garoppolo will throw at Devontae Adams if there's 8 guys covering him and like totally covering him, like literally wrapped around him, like Mick Stoles, and he'll still throw him the ball. Do that. And also do it accurately. Dimes. That's your name, man. Come on.
Scamper saying Waller was wide
open. I mean, not even wide open. I mean, in NFL terms, I don't know if I saw anyone that open all weekend.
Gaping.
I blame Jay Felicio.
Yeah, I do. I blame him for so many things. Herm's expelling a urban myth here. It's true that if you don't lose it, you lose it. I think it's supposed to be if you don't use it, you lose it. But Jones simply never had it.
Don't lose it, you lose it. God, that'd be the worst. That would be the worst reality ever.
Yeah.
You think you have something, but you don't.
Nope.
That's deep.
Bob, you got that correct. You get to send JL to his next category.
Real-time lines.
Ooh, all right. Real-time lines, 500.
Okay. And so this is going to be, you tell me over or under. And I'll give you a player and a category. This one will be easy. There's no riddles in this one. Cole Kmet, receiving yards, 32.5.
Oh, who do the Panthers have or Bears have?
The Commanders, Thursday Night Football.
Commanders. Yeah.
Oh.
All the questions will be from this Thursday Night Football game because that's the pick'em game that's available right now in Real Time Sports.
I'll say under.
You are correct, JL.
Yeah,
that's closer than I thought.
Yep. Well, it's 500, so I had to make it close. Okay. But no, I was surprised that it was that low after Monday night, or after not Monday night, but after this week, because Cole Kmet looked like him and Justin Fields got back on the same page. JL, do you think that we see more Cole Kmet in the coming weeks, or was it just kind of a 1 week thing?
I think we do. I mean, we saw him and Justin Fields connect last season. They seem to have a rapport. I'm guessing Vegas is not reactionary. They're not going to react week to week like that. And 1 week of Fields and Kmet connecting isn't enough for me to trust them consistently going forward. So you got to play matchups and see how it plays out.
1 week of Fields is doing exactly what he should have against a Denver Broncos defense that has laid down for every single player they've gone against this year.
70-20.
Right. And before that, the Commanders lit him up. And I mean, it's just like Justin Fields did what he needed to do. And I'm glad Cole Kmet was part of it. But expecting those performances by both of them going forward seems like a reach based on what we've seen in totality up to this point.
Yeah.
Perfect. That was mean. I'm here for that.
That's true.
I'm here for that.
That's true.
Yes.
Well, Jay, you got that right. Oh, good.
We got a question from Grim in the chat. Just a good reminder, if you got some fantasy questions, throw them in here. We will answer them in between questions or rounds here. Grim Van asking Kittle or Hawkinson in full PPR. Bob, which of these two are you starting?
I would probably start. The matchup is, I mean, I'd play Hawkinson either way, but the matchup adds to that. Dallas adds to that.
How you doing?
100% Hawkinson.
Yep. Load up Hawk.
The Vikings throw the football an awful lot, kids.
They love it. And then, that Kansas City. It's going to be fun.
All right, Jill, you got that one absolutely 100% correct.
Not
so
happy
you get
about
Bob
that.
To his next category.
All right, let's send Bob to follow the leader.
500.
Ooh.
I don't
so
even
once
know
again,
what that category means again. What is it?
Yo, this one's easy. Well, it's not easy. It's a hard question, but it's easy to decipher. He is behind only TJ Hawkinson. It's funny we're mentioning him now for the most tight end targets this season. Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce, or Sam Laporta?
Ertz.
Bob, that is correct. It is Zach Ertz.
I went Laporta.
That was the trick name because Kelce, no one's going to pick that, but Laporta.
He missed a game. Yeah. Kelce missed the game. Yeah, Laporta
had a slow start, slow week 1. Or slower. I mean, he's been great since.
Oh, he's been so good. So, okay, rest of the season, Bob. Sam Laporta or Zach Ertz? Which one are you rostering?
Laporta.
Okay. I agree. I think it's a question that we actually do kind of have to
I think it's a fair question. I mean, Ertz is playing really well. If you're, if you're thinking of the prices you paid for them at the beginning of the season.
Is it because Ertz is so old?
No, that's why I would love Ertz so much more. No, it's because I'm not as sure his offense is going to be as good all season long as I think the Lions will be all season long.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that. I agree with that evaluation.
And the chat was all over this one. Ertz.
Look at him go.
All right, good
They're
job,
very
chat.
smart. Chat's very smart.
They're always oh, Andrea's in here.
What up,
Andrea? How we doing
Hello,
today?
Andrea.
All right. So, Bob, you got that 100% correct. You get to send JL to his next category.
We'll go to cinematic player names.
I'll take infinity.
Grab bag.
All right, 400.
What is a group of parrots called? A pandemonium, a pit prop, a prickle, or a pulp?
Prickle, a pulp, a pit prop, or a pandemonium. A pandemonium. Oh, that's so fun. How do I not pick pandemonium?
I mean, I'm not wanting to help you, but how can you not?
Pandemonium of parrots? How could you not be just absolutely delighted in the middle of a pandemonium of parrots? I got to go pandemonium. I'm sorry. I'm too distracted.
Pandemonium is correct.
I wanted you to go with that. I wanted it to be that.
I would have been so disappointed if it was prickle or pulp when I went pandemonium.
JL, I have a very important question to ask you right now.
Okay.
If you were followed by a pandemonium of parrots, what is the first thing you're going to do?
I'm going to scream, turn around.
Ooh, that's good.
Because then
that's good.
maybe it'll spread and they'll all listen to each other.
Here's ask if Polly wants a cracker. I mean, isn't that the right?
Then they're coming after you hard. You're about to get wrecked.
Slow them down.
Is it because they're parrots and they'd all be like, turn around, turn around, turn around?
Yeah, that's exactly
Is that why.
Yeah. Like, oh, everyone's saying turn around. I think we got to turn around.
And I just want to apologize to our parrots that are viewing correctly. I just did that parrot voice and I realized that was a little stereotypical. So I want to apologize for that. Thank you.
You should.
All right, Jail, you got that correct. It was pandemonium. You're going to send Bob to his next category.
All right, let's send Bob to grab bag.
Grab bag 200.
Oof, Bob. The motion picture Pulp Fiction won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1995. True or false?
Did it? Sure. True.
Sorry, Bob. That's false. Forrest Gump.
I've never seen Forrest Gump. I've seen Pulp Fiction 800 times.
Yeah. Count yourself as one of the lucky people that's never seen Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump is awarded Best Picture, marking one of the greatest tragedies in American film history.
I agree with that part. Who would watch that movie? I've heard it's horrible.
We'll have a conversation off stream so we don't get canceled.
Appreciate that. I was 1 year old.
Well, you were one, so you're born in 94?
Indeed.
Well, actually, Pulp Fiction did come out in 94. The Academy Awards were just held in 95. So
I was well past the halfway point of my life.
I think
you're a full-grown adult.
Pulp Fiction was like the first rated R movie I snuck into. I think I bought a ticket for Happy Gilmore, I think, and I went and saw Pulp Fiction.
I wonder what the first rated R movie I snuck into was. There's definitely an answer. I haven't thought about that in a while.
Bob, what was the first rated R movie? Were movies even rated back then?
They were rated. What was that like? It was like something like Death Wish or something.
Oh, nice.
The original Death Wish was
like Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson, yeah, might have been that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Bob, you sadly missed that question, even though you were alive for it, and JL was only 1 year old. So JL, you get to pick your own category and value.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
I will take. Let's finish out grab bag. I'll take grab bag for 100.
Finish this seasonal saying. Spring ahead.
Why didn't I get that one?
Clock forward.
It's because it's 100. No.
One more time, JL.
Clock forward.
Let's fall back.
No.
Yes.
Spring ahead. Clock forward.
No.
Back, clock back. Everybody
that
knows
old saying. Spring ahead. Clock forward. I think we have a new FYI.
Thank you.
In the shop by the weekend.
I feel like I was given a gift here.
No, if you ask Maria, she will tell you I am notorious for missing very commonly known phrases.
This is the springboard to my big comeback.
I'll never forget. One of my parents said, "You don't know blank from Adam," and I earnestly was like, "Who's that? Who's Adam?" and they looked at me, them two, Maria looked at me like I was insane.
I actually grew up in a place where they did not change the time in Arizona. So there was no time change.
So you didn't have that saying.
I didn't discover until I was much later in life, but that's why I remember it better, because I was a grown-up adult when I learned that it was spring ahead, fall back.
Spring ahead, clock
everyone
forward.
knew that.
I
Fall
think
back,
yeah.
clock back.
I don't think it worked. Does it work that way?
I think so.
I don't know. All I know is that I already bought you your wedding present, but now I'm going to pull it back and just get you monogram towels
Nice.
that say spring ahead, fall back.
Nice.
Yeah. Tails too. I'll get you some tails. Why not? You need a tail.
Tim in here said JL extended the phrase like nobody before.
And nobody ever again.
Scampers. Spring ahead, baby.
Jesus laid an egg.
Scampers. All right. So, JL, you missed that one, Bob. Category and value. You get to pick it.
I'll take About Last Night for 300.
Something tells me you watched the game last night, Bob. Within 10, how many points did the Giants trail by at halftime?
Was it 7?
Final answer?
Yes.
It was 11, but you were within the range, so
Nice.
You'll get the
Fair
points. Good job.
I was on the radio, so I wasn't paying attention that closely.
What's that like?
I don't know. Probably the radio show sucks, and I don't see the game as good. like neither thing is as great as it should be.
Damn it, Bob. Don't catch me off guard. I hate it when you make me giggle.
All right, Bob. Send JL to his next category.
Probably
About Last Night.
All right, About Last Night. Let's go 500.
Last night was the 21st meeting between the Giants and the Seahawks, which the Seahawks lead the series in wins. Within 3, how many career wins do the Seahawks have over the Giants? So they played 21 times. Seahawks have the lead.
Let's go with 14.
You are just inside, so you will get credit, JL, on that. Good job. I originally had this question last week for the Packers and Lions, and they had met 111 times. So those are pretty.
Oh, so it's 11 and 10 is the record, or are they tied?
Yeah, they're 11 and 10. So they're one. Yeah, you got it right. So good job.
Dang. Go Seahawks.
Go Seahawks.
Job. I think it was like not that great.
It's just okay.
It's all right.
It's within the range.
It's all right.
All right, send Bob to his next category, JL.
All right, let's do About Last Night. That one's really bothering me over there.
400.
All right. Which player had the only receiving touchdown in last night's game? Isaiah Hodgins, DK Metcalf, or Kenneth Walker?
DK Metcalf.
That is correct, Bob.
Nice job.
That category has been cleared out. Bob, rest of season, you get to have only one Seahawks wide receiver. And I'm talking rest of season. So what they've done so far, I don't care about. Is it DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, or do we see JSN finally start to come on a little bit?
The latter, no. I mean, I think this, to me, JSN was the next year piece. I mean, I think this offense is evolving, and I think they'll be more of a 3 receiver offense going forward. But I think it's a work in progress, and that's hindering JSN for right now. I'm torn, really, but I love Lockett an awful lot, but I think right now it looks like it's going to be Metcalf.
JL?
Yeah, I'm with Bob. I mean, I think we got a 1-2 here, like we've seen in previous seasons. What I saw last night, though, is that the Seahawks run game is dynamic, and the Seahawks are infamous for running a ton, and I think we're just going to see more of that. So honestly, I feel like what we're getting out of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett is right what we've gotten before.
Yep.
It's just you're not getting the flash games that make you all happy inside.
Jay is glad the category is done because he did not like it. Darius said he could hear his heart breaking.
I was thinking I was going to have him on the show during the game last night. I thought, no, I don't want to People don't want to listen to Jay cry.
It's
It's not
just
great.
gonna be sad. Just him sighing, big sighs.
Weeping gently.
Scampers has a question for us. Drop JSN or Jahan Dotson?
See you,
Ooh.
JSN.
Yeah, JSN.
I mean, Dotson hasn't been great. There's no doubt about it. But depending on which Howell shows up, it can be pretty good, I think, for Dotson. I mean, it's the 2 versus the 3. I mean, it's pretty easy for me.
Yeah. And Sam Howell might have a good week if he's going against the Bears this week.
Sammy How.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So here's a question from Grim Fan. Here's a tough question for you guys. Tougher than my cinematic player names, apparently. Whose defense is better, Seattle or Dallas? Oh, I think it's Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Seattle looked good last night.
They did.
Don't get me wrong, but yeah, Dallas has looked dominant.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Bob, you got that last question correct. Send JL to his next category.
Real-time lines.
400.
Okay. We got a real close game here, 1,700, 1,800. All right, JL. Over under Sam Howell passing yards, 240.5.
Over.
Ooh, it's actually
That's a
wow.
shame. Hate to see that.
Yeah.
I would have taken the over for sure.
I'm wondering if they think they're just going to run all over the Bears.
To Brian
I'm actually surprised at seeing that too.
Wow.
Bob, you have free range of the board in 2 categories.
I'll take follow the leader, 400.
This quarterback is second in the league in fantasy points, preceded by only Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson, or Patrick Mahomes.
Josh Allen.
That's correct. It is Josh Allen. Good job, Bob.
I like Anthony Richardson a lot. I wish it was him, but he missed the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he it's weird. Maybe it's not to see those 4 names next to each other. Looking at next year, do you think Anthony Richardson could move up into that maybe top 8, top 5 territory with some of these quarterbacks?
100% yes.
Okay.
He is a unique talent. There's a series of things that are working out well for him. Like he's got to stay healthy and avoid taking the hits. I've been advocating this. I think like you look at what Miami did with Tua Tagovailoa. If you're paying your quarterback, $250 billion, hire a jiu-jitsu guy or a fight expert or somebody who can tell them, fighters get punched in the face all day long and don't get ruled out with concussions because they know how to roll with blows, right? Teach your quarterbacks how to do that, or at least how to fall properly. But you look at he's with Shane Steichen, and you look at the last 2 quarterbacks Shane Steichen has worked with. He'd worked with Justin Herbert his rookie year, and where they took a certain approach where he was passing like crazy. I think he had the most attempts in the league. Then he went on and help develop Jalen Hurts in a different way with the rushing ability. I think his experience in helping these varied talents develop gives him a really good base to work with Anthony Richardson. And also something you see with Steichen is the second half adjustments have been fantastic in their games. I just think you've got the right coach for Anthony Richardson, who I've called like the lottery ticket. Remember when Josh Allen came in the league and he could not hit the broadside of a barn?
Yep.
Now he will throw it into tiny teacups. He will,
like that.
So players can improve in terms of their accuracy. Richardson just needs experience. I think he belongs up there. Also, those other guys belong up there.
Absolutely. All right, Bob, you knocked that one out of the park. So you get to send JL to his next question.
I waddled a little bit. Real-time lines.
All right, 300.
Okay. Brian Robinson Jr. Fantasy points, 14.3.
PPR? Half PPR?
It'd be PPR.
Under.
You are correct, JL.
Dang.
Now, if you were going over to Real Time Sports and you were making a bet, would you take the under on there, or would you take the over on 11.7?
Ooh, I don't know. You said PPR?
It is PPR. Last I checked.
I would probably take it. Going against Chicago?
I'd take the over.
I'd take the over.
Here's a little advice from old people. Don't take the under. What fun is that? Never take the under. Don't bet.
Yeah.
Don't bet if you're going to
What are
bet
you,
the
a
under.
coward?
Bet the over. I mean, you're like limiting yourself. Like it's the under. There's like only a certain amount it can be. With the over, you're like infinitely available. Come on, kids, get with it.
And with the
Other than
over,
that-
if they go over, you get to turn the TV off and go to bed. So that's nice too if you're older.
I don't
You know.
actually do that, but
I did last night.
And I'm too excited
not
that I just
feeling
won
well.
money.
That's a good point. All right, JL, you got that correct.
And
We have a
Xavier-
tie game here, folks, with 4 questions each left. JL, send Bob to his next category.
All right, real-time lines.
this is not my strength. Go ahead. 200.
Khalil Herbert, rushing yards, 28.5.
Over.
That's
Well
correct.
done.
That was over. Good job, Bob. So
Tough run
in this-
defense.
it
Commanders.
is. So in the Chicago backfield right now, it does seem like Khalil Herbert might have separated himself from Rashawn Johnson last week. Do you think that is the case, Bob, or do you think
I don't think that is the case. I don't think we should take anything from this game as being depositive, as they would say in a court of law. I think it's like, I mean, it looks like it's heading that direction, but up until last week, it looked like Rashawn Johnson was heading in a good direction. So I don't think that the story has not been written yet. It was a great game by Khalil Herbert. We knew that he has that in him. Maybe we get a great game from Rashawn Johnson at some point. I know the coaches really seem to be into Khalil Herbert, right? That goes back to last year when Montgomery was there. I started hearing, from the beat writers in June who, that the coaches were really keen on him. We saw a little bit of that last year, but they kept going back to Montgomery. I think they're going to keep mixing it up, and the outcome is yet to be determined. If you made me bet today, though, who will have the best fantasy season, it'd be Herbert, but not by a ton.
I love this little random fact. Do you agree, JL?
Yeah. That's what I say, yeah.
Cool. I love this little random fact here. The Bears are the only NFL team not to win a game since Elon bought Twitter.
It's called the X.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I'm glad that you said X with such enthusiasm, Bob, because that's how we like to say it around here.
It keeps messing me up because on my phone I have to type X to get to the app, but on my browser it always takes me to Xfinity.
Herms with some breaking news. The Steelers signed wide receiver Denzel. Herms, I don't know if this is breaking news. Denzel Mims to the practice squad. Massive news, a true difference maker.
He is probably the best practice squad player known ever. I'm going to agree with that, Herms. Good call.
All right. Bob, you got that correct. Send JL to his next category.
Follow the leader.
Oh, I think you just saved my life, Bob.
Yeah.
I think I made a mistake in my game strategy before. I'll take 300.
You said 300?
Yeah.
All right. This player is behind only Puka Nacua for the most targets in the NFL in 2023. Devontae Adams, Calvin Ridley, or Stephon Diggs?
Devontae Adams.
JL, good job.
See, my strategy failed because I thought you'd get this wrong.
But you told me earlier, Jimmy Garoppolo loves
I did.
Devontae Adams.
I gave it away.
You gave it away.
Damn it.
If only you could tell the future, Bob.
It seems like Devontae Adams might be quarterback proof, though. I mean, the way he looked this week. Is he just a start no matter what now?
Oh,
Yes.
For the rest of the season?
Yeah. He has been. Like
For sure.
some of those catches he made.
I felt like the dialing back of him was, this has been my theory all off season long is we're letting less than ideal quarterback situations keep us from drafting great receivers or paying full price for them. And I wasn't going to do that as much. And we're seeing players again. We saw it last year with Lockett and Metcalf. We saw it with Mari Cooper. This year we're seeing it with Godwin and Mike Evans, maybe more so. But all the players that we feel like, man, that's the worst quarterback ever. They still have a quarterback. It still happens for them. And Jimmy G, to his credit, I mean, that's been the difference, though. He is willing to – he understands what he has in Devontae Adams, and he will wear that thing out. And maybe a little bit of Jacoby Myers, too. He seems to be willing to go there as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. We've seen NFL teams do that in the past. Lean into your strength, right? Why wouldn't you? Derrick Henry, remember Vrabel came in and started like, why Derrick Henry? Let's just overuse the hell out of Derrick Henry. And it worked. They started winning.
Better boss in here. 3 of the best people in the world all in one place.
We did it.
I guess
Thank
he's
you,
talking about us. I think, okay, cool.
We just
Thanks.
need Will
Thanks,
Ferrell now.
Grimcamp fan coming in here. Is Cooper Cup officially out
What the hell
for the
is
year?
this? This is like people are trying to trigger me here.
Unless this is news that's happened while we've been on the air, I do not believe that he's out for the year. I think he's supposed to be practicing this week.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens from there.
That's like it's a direct attack on me.
Yeah, what I'm seeing is that maybe he might miss week 5, but he should. They're expecting him to come back to practice.
Here's another attack on me, Bob Harris.
Yeah.
Me,
Jay in here saying, I'd love to hear Bob's POV on Jahmyr Gibbs the rest of the season.
This is like
I know he was high on coming to the season. Some are already jumping ship. Bob, are you jumping ship?
I'm not jumping ship. I'm readjusting my expectations and recalculating.
Jahmyr Gibbs, correct?
Yes. Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm like, you have to adjust and adapt and figure out. I mean, like, he's still playable. You're just like setting your expectations a little lower. And I know. It's like it's been horrible, right? I mean, oh no, it's an attack. No, I was kidding. No, like, so I mean, Montgomery seems like a better player than Jamal Williams. I don't want to say that, he's going to score 17 touchdowns, but I think, he's going to have a role. Clearly, the Lions don't value things the way we do, right? And apparently they don't value the way they claim they do. I mean, we saw the videos where they were throwing a party that they were going to land Jahmyr Gibbs with a 12th pick like it was the best thing that ever happened to them. And I'm just so, like, no, I'm not bailing on him. I'm holding out. It's a long season. The conversations we're having in September and the first week of October are not the conversations we're going to be having in November, December. And we'll see how it plays out. I mean, for right now, you have to hope, like, when you invested in a player, you have to be willing to, divorce yourself from the narrative, the happy story you told yourself to get yourself to invest that super high-end draft capital in them that's failing you miserably at the moment, and find other players. Kyron Williams has maybe risen up. Guys that you drafted later. David Montgomery you might have drafted later, right? If you're me. And you play the players who are getting the job done now, and you hold on to the guys. I'm not bailing on Gibbs yet. And there is some, there's some encouraging signs. But honestly, as you look at it now, the way they're running this offense, he's never going to be the guy that they pound between the tackles, because David Montgomery is damn good at it. It's a great offensive line. And so, and there was a reasonable investment in him in Montgomery as well. I mean, and that's when the only time teams aren't lying is when they invest cash and draft picks, right? And so I don't think we're, so I'm not giving up on Gibbs for that reason, but I'm definitely having to adjust my expectations.
I think, like, when NFL teams are making decisions, especially around drafting, they're not making it from the standpoint of looking at week to week. What do they get? How is this player, like, I'm drafting him first round, I have to use him now every week. It's not like fantasy football. They're making decisions that are on different time horizons, right? So, like, the way I imagine they're thinking about their usage of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs here is, we have a rookie who we invested a lot in. A lot of rookies come into the NFL and have a hard time adjusting or get injuries early on because they're just adjusting to this new speed. They're running, they're trying to figure out and get a sense of the environment and the pace of the game. They have David Montgomery to lean on right now. They don't need to feed Jahmyr Gibbs in the first 4 weeks. I love what Bob said about, like, using him later on in the season. I'm almost certain that's what they're doing here. Is, why wouldn't you use David Montgomery, who is better at that right now?
Right. And also there's, like, something that we don't see as fantasy managers. We see the games, right? That's all we see. They're around these guys 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, watching them work, study, doing all the things. So they're seeing things that we don't see. And so I'm willing to trust this coaching staff, who I think is pretty smart. But you would hope at some point, watching DeAndre Swift tear the league asunder, they would say, man, we have to, like, not look like idiots. Let's get Jahmyr Gibbs going here.
We got Jackman in here. Should I trade Sutton and Mostert for Rachaad White and Thielen? I think I'd rather have Sutton and Mostert right now.
Depends on your team, but in a vacuum, I'd rather have Sutton and Mostert.
I would as well. And, like, realizing that Mostert, that committee is going to become murkier still when Jeff Wilson Jr. is back. I mean, I don't know that he's going to jump in and take anyone's job, but he's going to, it'll be diluted a little bit. And I don't know that matters, because Devon Achane is getting the job done. Seems to be the momentum has shifted, kids.
All right, gentlemen, competitors, I need you to pull out a scrap of paper, your phone or whatnot, because it's time for Final Jeopardy.
Can't believe
the category today will be concerts.
Concerts?
Mm-hmm. That is our category today.
How much do we have, Joey?
Oh, sorry. Bob, you have 2,300, and JL, you have 2,400. It's a very close game. So write your wagers down. The category is concerts.
No, actually, I take back that shit talk because Joey gave me some bullshit points that I don't even want. So really, the real score is 2,300 is 2,300.
Here, okay, I'll take $300 away from you. Oh wait, I can't do it that way. I can just write it in. There you go. Now you guys are even.
Yeah.
All right, get all this
for the record books.
Dive it.
Question, guys. Who held the most attended concert in modern music history? Is it Metallica, Rod Stewart, or Billy Joel?
Single concert?
Single concert.
Do I have to know the date? I know the location. Do I have to know the date?
What?
Bob, if you know the location, I'm going to be floored.
I might know the location. I'm going to put a location too.
Did you guys show me your wagers?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Honor system.
I wagered it all, but
Me too.
Okay, perfect.
All right, I got mine.
I got mine.
All right. Let's see your answers.
All right, I couldn't get the location, all of it, but I got some of it. Oh no, I forgot about.
I don't know.
Crowd.
I'm gonna have to check on this because you're both wrong. I am seeing that Rod Stewart held a concert in Copacabana Beach that had 3.5 million people celebrating their New Year's Eve.
Get the fuck out.
3.5 million.
Get out.
This is what
the Bob and I are ending with 0-0.
Yep. Is this the first 0-0 tie?
This stupid ass game that you made me play, Joey, with your dumb made up movie descriptions. Basically just sending Bob and I in a wild goose chase.
Well, let's give it our chat historian. However, I think my name should go in the record books as well because I have as many points as you guys and I didn't have to play the game actually. So in a way, I played you guys to get you both ending in 0.
Asterisks.
Brutal.
Game.
Rod effing Stewart.
Rod Stewart. Of course. Of course. How did we know?
Why is there even a Rod Stewart? No offense, Rod. You seem like a really nice man, but
I don't know anything that you do.
Small Faces was gone. I don't know.
What do you do, Rod?
He should have stayed playing soccer. Never picked up a guitar.
Well, if you haven't already, make sure you are following Bob. If this show wasn't enough to convince you, his wonderful performance here, 0-0, tied with me. Make sure you follow Bob at Football Diehard. Bob, thank you so much for joining us, man. It's always a pleasure when you are here.
I really enjoy doing this, and you must invite me back again soon, and maybe a game that I can actually win.
Definitely not.
I don't know if there's any of those.
It's probably not. And if you enjoyed this and you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to Front Yard Fantasy on YouTube. Hit that like button. Check out Better Sports Network, also on YouTube. Got some great content over there. We'll be back every single weekday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. But until then, enjoy your Tuesday.
Bye.
Dun, 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 dun. That's my Metallica sounds. Boom.